I always been drawn to things that perhaps are more meaningful and you could use your time wiser, and that led me to jump the ship and start entity called the Impact Office in 2015. And we are a coalition of people like myself, so asset owners who are believers that capital can be an agent of change, and we're moving from traditional market return way of allocating capital to impact and across all the asset classes. So everybody wants to talk about the last beautiful venture, startup or scale up that is impactful and profitable. I love it. Yes, let's do it. But let's not forget about the 99% of the other assets, which might not be as impactful, but they're very boring. But in the essence, they have probably a bigger impact on us and the planet and the future than that scale up that is in your portfolio.
Amazing. And I can see that that shift has probably made you even more passionate about what you do now. Can you talk a little bit about what type of change are you actively working towards?
So we're in a really bad state when it comes to finance and financial services and how that capital is right now deployed. And my biggest bottleneck is not how to get people excited. But now the rest of the world is not following up. So we have really low hanging fruit problems in financial industry. And if you walk to your local bank and ask for their best in class, impactful portfolio, and they're happy to provide down to your specific SDGs and down to your specific passion of biodiversity. And then you walk away and you think your job is done and you go on with your life. But the tiniest scratch of the surface of those strategies will reveal that there's nothing impactful in those portfolios, to an extent that we as a community, we actually dismantle these portfolios, often live on stage in different events sponsored by the banks, and have scientists to check them for us. And over again, the message is not impactful, not sustainable, actually accelerating the climate change or actually destroying biodiversity. So we are in a situation where we've been fooled. The good thing is that as it's so rampant and starting blocks are, we are still in the starting blocks, that making big changes is not that hard. And instead of diving yourself into this world and learning everything and getting a training course, really just basic common sense gets you pretty far. And we're all investors, so you don't need to have millions or billions to become an investor. You're an investor for sure because you have a pension fund that is probably invested in that circular economy fund that I was just mentioning. But really figuring out, okay, what am I here for? And these are the cards I've been given. And then just making sure that at least that portion of those investments is doing what you want them to be doing, and while being still profitable. So I don't buy this premise that we should give an inch of the profits away if we want to do an impact. Why would we? We're in the cusp of the biggest disruption of not just our generation, but potentially 1,000 years, when industries are disrupted left, right, and center. We're moving from fossil to electrifying the whole society. If we can't find profitable investment opportunities in that transition, I mean, these guys are not doing their job very well.
A lot of people here at Katapult Future Fest are working in a similar space as you are and concerned about the similar things that you're concerned with in the realm of impact investment. Have you had any conversations here that you feel have really shifted some of your thinking, or do you feel that a lot of the people here are also thinking the same way as you? Or
I think we're all in the same page, and there's different words flying about. So I'm learning a lot, not about that things we do are different than things others do, but just following different kind of ideas and narratives and where the ball is going. But what I've been really inspired is that all roads lead to you. So we talk about different kinds of structures and different new ways. There's blended finance, there's catalytic capital. It's all about systems change today, but somehow everything is linked to you. So if you don't do your personal transformation, if you don't know who you are and what you stand for, it's pretty irrelevant when you start nitpicking on whether this venture is impactful, whether this is aligned with my portfolio, whether we should do this deal, because all of that will break down when there's first hiccup or crisis or is not successful. If you can't mirror it, okay, I'm standing behind this investment because it works for me, it works for my values, and it's good for the planet, or whatever is your dimension of impact that you want to achieve.
Amazing. So we've been doing it so that the previous guest has left you a question, and I'm going to read it for you right now. If you could speak to my daughters right now about our future and tell them that everything is going to be okay, what would you tell them to convince them?
I would rather talk to the grandkids, but if the daughter is already here, everything will be okay because the big masses are moving to the right direction. And that leads to the politicians to make note, that leads to the industry to make changes, that leads to all parts of society to move with us. We still, thank God, in these parts of the world live in democracy of certain kinds. So I'm a big believer that we as societies, as voters, have the final say when going forward in these things. So daughters, let's hope that we are already, when you're adults, we are there. But time frame, I'm not sure about.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Risto. I hope that you enjoy the rest of Catapult Future Fest. I hope that I wish you luck in all of your endeavors. It seems like you're doing really, really important work. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.